We talked with a neighbor who lives beside the man that Richmond police arrested for robbing this Waffle House, and he thinks it was all a misunderstanding.
The best form of protection is prevention.
State leaders are trying to stop the Zika virus before it even has a chance to spread in Kentucky.
A warning for patients: look out for bogus mobile health apps. Which ones are helpful and which ones can be harmful?
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. Police say some employees' quick thinking helped them catch a would-be robber. Richmond police say the man walked into the Waffle House this morning with a fake pipe bomb.
They say the man demanded cash with a threatening note, but before he could get away, he was tackled. Kristen Kennedy is talking to the suspect's neighbors in our top story at 5:30.
Stays to himself, associates with very few people.
Eddie Darty's been Gregory Berry's next-door neighbor for about a year. He's having a hard time believing the quiet man would do what Richmond police are accusing him of.
From what I've seen and talked to him the few times that I have, there's really been nothing to indicate that he would be any kind of danger or hazard to anybody.
Investigators say around 2 Monday morning, Berry wrote a note on an index card. That note said, "Give up all your money or I will blow up this place with a pipe bomb."
I don't know if that's what he intended on writing or if it was something somebody put him up to doing.
Police told us he walked from the hotel where he was living to the Waffle House and delivered that note with the fake pipe bomb.
He would either been off his meds or drinking or, something like that. But even when he drinks, he stays in his room, stays to himself.
The bomb, officers say, was just part of a flashlight. They tell us Waffle House employees held Berry down until they could arrive. They booked him into jail on a robbery charge. In Richmond, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And Berry declined our request to talk from jail.
State police are investigating another suspicious house fire, this one in Madison County. Today's fire damaged a home on Jacks Creek Road. A man working nearby saw smoke coming from the home and started to put out the fire. And troopers say it looks like someone broke into the home before the fire. This is the 6th home they're investigating as part of a string of arsons across central Kentucky. We'll have much more on the investigation coming up on WKYT News at 6.
A man in southeastern Kentucky faces charges after police say he attacked several people, including 2 police officers. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Bell County. Deputies say 34-year-old Timothy Kaufman tried to sexually assault a woman at a home in the Page community. When 2 others tried to stop him, deputies say Kaufman tried to fight them. Deputies showed up, and during the arrest, Kaufman attacked both officers and a canine.
We attempted to subdue him with a taser weapon twice. It was unsuccessful. He was OC spray. That was also unsuccessful. At that time I released my canine Jax, and Jax was able to get a bite on his leg. That was also unsuccessful.
Kaufman was checked out at the hospital and then booked into the jail on several assault and drug charges. Deputies believe he was under the influence of drugs when the incident happened. In Kent County, police are looking for 2 men wanted for a robbery. Erlanger police released this video today from a theft at a Chipotle last week. They say 2 men broke into the office and stole money. They believe the suspects are 2 black men who are about 6 feet tall and are between the ages of 25 and 35.
Summer is not far off, and summer means mosquitoes. State leaders here in Kentucky are taking action now to protect people from the Zika virus. Mark Barber is talking to health officials about what you can do to prevent the spread of the disease.
The best form of protection is prevention, not cleanup.
There haven't been any cases of the Zika virus in Kentucky mosquitoes so far, but the breed that can carry it is in the state. As we race toward warmer months and peak mosquito season, health officials are preparing for the possibility that the dangerous virus will start spreading here.
Travelers coming back from areas where there is active infection could be the source of infecting our mosquitoes here at home.
6 people in Kentucky have already been infected. Public health officials say they were traveling in countries where the virus is already circulating. State officials tell WKYT they want Kentuckians to take this health threat seriously by protecting themselves. They're asking people to drain standing water where mosquitoes breed, to use bug spray, and to wear long-sleeve shirts and pants. If needed, the Department of Agriculture is also prepared to spray for mosquitoes from the sky.
The idea is that they can mobilize a strike team to help target areas cases.
Public health officials are calling their plan to combat Zika Fight the Bite day and night. And they say you can have a hand in that. They say if you are concerned about a growing number of mosquitoes in your area, you can call the Department of Agriculture. They'll come out, they'll take a look at your area, and if needed, they'll spray to control the mosquitoes there. In Franklin County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
The Zika virus can also be transmitted through sexual contact. Officials are encouraging people who have been to countries where the virus is circulating to practice safe sex.
More rain and storms in the forecast. We're tracking a chance of showers every day this week.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking it all live tonight. He's at the Euclid Avenue Croker in Lexington for WKYT Weather Radio Day. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Sam. This is a Kroger I think you're very fond of and well known at, my man. But yeah, we are parked outside right at the front entrance here, Kroger on Euclid, and we are programming weather radios here. And you come by, we give you a great discount price on a weather radio. Bruce Thomas from Midland Weather Radio is here. Jim Caldwell, you know him. He is here doing a little programming as well and learning from the master. Weather-wise, outside right now, it's been a little ugly across central and eastern Kentucky. Live Skycam, Hamburg Pavilion, with a lot of clouds out there, and we are dealing with temperatures that are into the 70s. So overall, temperature-wise, not bad, but again, we didn't get a whole lot of sunshine out there. And those temperatures farther north that you go are cooler, farther south that you go, we're seeing warmer conditions out there. Defender Radar Network picking up on some rain, trying to get back into the I-65 corridor. Could be some at least scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go through the evening and overnight. Better chances for storms will come our way ahead of a strong cold front that is out to the west of us. That'll come as we go into the next couple of days, and that hour-by-hour radar later this evening beginning to light back up with at least some scattered showers and thunderstorms across most of central and eastern Kentucky. Now, when I come back in a few minutes, we'll talk in greater detail about the possibility of some stronger storms that arrive for your Tuesday time period. Guys, that's in a few minutes.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in just a bit. Thank you. Kentucky's Attorney General is hoping to prevent a future backlog of rape kits.
So after Michelle presses this, Kentucky State Police will have $4.5 million to make sure that this backlog never happens again.
Today, state police received $4.5 million to help solve rape cases. The state is currently backlogged with more than 3,000 rape kits because of a lack of funding. This money will not go towards the current cases, but it will make sure future cases will be handled in a timely manner.
Means everything to you, your family, your loved ones, everyone that it touched. It just makes you feel safer to know that they're not on the streets anymore.
There is money set aside for the thousands of backlogged cases, but that contract with the lab has not yet been finalized.
Many people are relying these days more and more on mobile health and wellness apps to help diagnose and deal with illnesses. But doctors say those apps aren't always reliable, and many give out inaccurate information. Here's what doctors say you should know before you download.
Then I turn it on.
Every morning, 88-year-old Milton Meisner checks and records his vitals like weight, temperature, and blood pressure using his iPad.
Now it is transmitting.
His stats are instantly sent to his doctors through an online app.
And the numbers are accurate. You can't fool around with the numbers. You go to Alere.
Milton's healthcare app, approved by doctors at USC's Keck Medical Center, works the way it should. But Dr. Leslie Saxon says that's not always the case.
We see applications that run the gamut, super responsible, great applications, and applications that don't do anything near what they claim to do. The FDA has approved over 160 regulated medical applications.
Dr. Saxon says many other apps on the market today have not been tested enough for accuracy, and others have gone entirely unvetted. A study from Johns Hopkins University found one popular blood pressure app gave measurements that were flat out wrong. It's been pulled off the market.
If it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Dr. Saxon is now part of an FDA panel working to develop global guidelines and regulations for healthcare apps. Doctors say you should consult with your doctor if you plan to use an app to find out if it will benefit your healthcare. And right now, there are more than 165,000 health and wellness apps available on your smartphone or tablet, but only a fraction of those have been validated by the FDA. And doctors say medical and health apps can be useful to supplement your health care, but you should not rely on it as a primary means of diagnosing or treating any type of illness.
Still ahead on WKYT News, after months of being homeless, a Lexington family now has a place to call their own. How the city helped them find a home.
I'm Bill Bryant. Hillary Clinton adds a Lexington stop to her campaign trip to Kentucky tomorrow. Former Governor Steve Beshear sends a letter to Washington about health care in Kentucky. The bottom line is on the way.
For all your hearth and grill needs, shop barnhillchimney.com.
Does your loved one show signs of nursing home abuse or neglect? Bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, infection, and malnutrition are common signs of abuse. If your loved one has been injured or abused in a nursing home, call Garcia, Artaglaire, and Medby. We'd like to help.
Mr. Lover, now Mr. Lover. She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic. Fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says
you live life your way.
Smooth.
We can help you retire your way too. Financial guidance while you're mastering life. From Chase, so you can.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
The $4 menu at Steak and Shake, featuring handcrafted steak burgers, all beef footlongs, and fresh guacamole made from scratch. The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
At Hair Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. Because you were made to live, and live well. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
We have our chart, the children, got the children. We're the Swartzes from Omaha. Welcome to our show.
The system is rigged. There's not enough good jobs. It's harder to get ahead. And Washington is broken. We need leaders that put our country ahead of party. I'm a businessman, not a politician. I don't believe every Democratic idea is a good idea or every Republican idea is a bad one. I'll take good ideas from both sides and put Kentucky first. I'm Jim Gray. I sponsored this ad to make our state stronger and more prosperous.
Jim Gray, Kentucky first.
You place your loved one in a nursing home to receive quality care. Unfortunately, nursing home neglect and abuse causes injury and death to innocent victims. If you suspect nursing home abuse, call Garcia, Artaglaire, and Medby at 1-844-738-6786. We'd like to help.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The Clintons are focusing in on Kentucky's primary. Both Hillary and Bill Clinton will make more stops in the Bluegrass this week.
And former Governor Steve Beshear writes a letter to Governor Bevin about the state's health care. Bill Bryant has the details in the bottom line.
Good evening. This will be a busy week on the Kentucky campaign trail as Hillary Clinton's team puts on a blitz of visits to the Bluegrass state. She's trying to prevent a string of losses heading into the Democratic National Convention. Clinton will hold an invitation-only event in Lexington and make other stops in Louisville. Her staffers are downplaying expectations, telling the Associated Press they don't expect her to win in West Virginia tomorrow or in Kentucky on the 17th. Clinton's main problems in Kentucky seem to be over coal, despite the fact that her Democratic opponent Bernie Sanders has taken an even stronger anti-coal stance, including a ban on mountaintop removal. And former President Bill Clinton will campaign for his wife on Thursday in Kentucky. That schedule is being finalized. Former Governor Steve Beshear has sent a letter to the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Sarah Burwell and to Governor Matt Bevin asking for more openness in Kentucky's health care transition. Bevin has said he will roll back Kentucky's Medicaid expansion expansion that Bashir put in place. Bevan's team is seeking a federal waiver to make the changes. Bashir is asking that specifics about the request be made public ahead of a meeting between state and federal officials that's set for later this week. A new poll shows frustration from Americans who don't think the states or doctors are doing enough to fight prescription drug and heroin abuse. The Kaiser Family Foundation poll shows 67% across the country don't think their state government is doing enough to deal with prescription drug abuse. 61% don't think their state is fighting heroin abuse hard enough. James Sweat, the founder of Sweat Moving and Storage in Lexington, has died. His company was one of the first African-American owned moving companies in the city. Sweat received numerous local honors, and the company is now run by his children. James Sweat was 85. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A once homeless family in Lexington now has a place to call home tonight.
This morning, the Lexington Housing Authority, the Home Builders Association of Lexington, and the Community Action Council of Lexington dedicated a new home to the Smith-Lewis family. Volunteers spent 9 months remodeling the home on Argus Avenue. The family says they're thankful to have a roof over their heads.
First and foremost, I got to give honor to God. Without him, none of this would have been possible, but this is something that we've been praying about and praying for a while now.
If you need the help, go for the help. They're here to help you, and that's what they did for us. They helped us, and they've been a tremendous blessing to us and our children.
Funding for the $90,000 project came from the city's Office of Affordable Housing.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Hey everybody, back here at the Euclid Avenue Kroger in Lexington, and look at all the folks we have got lined up here. We've got Jim Caldwell, Bruce Thomas from Midland Weather Radio, and they are busy, and that is exactly what we like to see. Folks from Anderson County, say hi to everybody back in Anderson County. They made the trip up here to get a Midland Weather Radio as well. We're going to be here through 7 o'clock this evening, so you've got plenty of time still, no matter where you are across central and eastern Kentucky, to come on out and see us. Weather radios at a discount price. We will program that weather radio for free, and also if you've got a Midland Weather Radio or a weather radio you want programmed already, hey, come out, we'll take care of that free of charge for you as well. You may put those to use over the next few days. Been a quiet, severe weather season across the Bluegrass State, but in the days to come, thunderstorm action will begin to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's talk about what's going on out there right now. Kind of a dreary view in Lexington. We look out across the Hamburg Pavilion area, and we are indeed seeing a lot of cloud cover across the region. Those temperatures into the low 70s. Temps telling the tale today. Warm front draped across the region. Northern Kentucky, we are much, much cooler than what folks across the southern parts of the area are dealing with. The farther south you go, you're flirting with 80 degrees in some cases this afternoon. Farther north, it's been a struggle to get into the mid-60s. And your Defender Radar Network picking up on another round of some showers and maybe some thunderstorms across the I-65 corridor, trying to roll back toward the east. And as we broaden out the view, we go out to the west of us, you see how it's coming at us in waves. It's not going to be a constant rain over the next few days, but you get these waves of thunderstorms courtesy of a stalled out boundary that is right across Kentucky, and that connects to a bigger storm system that is out across the Plain States. Now that's where a big severe weather outbreak is located as of now. As that rolls its way toward the area into the day tomorrow, well, your forecast in the morning, out the door with a threat for a shower, thunderstorm 60s. We'll be back into the muggy mid and upper 70s tomorrow, and at any time tomorrow, you're fair game for some thunderstorms to go up. Overall, the threat for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night especially is for one that can give us some damaging winds and some hail, at least in a few areas. The tornado threat is low in a situation like this. One will always keep a very close eye on. 3-day threat track showing the threat for some thunderstorms around right on through Thursday. So the next 3 days, a little on the bumpy side. Like I said earlier, it's not going to rain the entire time, but with that stalled out front that is across the Ohio Valley, that is the focusing mechanism we need to get those thunderstorms to develop and just move over the same piece of real estate one after another. 7-day forecast showing maybe, fingers crossed, a little break in the action on Friday. Unfortunately, it doesn't look to last long. Yet another front drops into town on Saturday with a threat for some showers and storms early, and a chilly weekend is likely across the region. That little break in the storms, though, as I mentioned, does not have a long lifespan. We'll get back into that stormy pattern again later Sunday night and Monday. So come on out here to Euclid Avenue Kroger in Lexington, where we have the WKYT Midland Weather radios. We're here through 7 o'clock this evening. Right now, let's check on traffic. Here's Officer Don.
2 collisions right now in the city. One is at New Circle and Alumni. That one is a non-injury crash. Trying to get that cleaned up off the circle. Also one at Manowar and Richmond Road. No one's hurt in that wreck, but the outer loop of Manowar partially blocked as a result of that collision. Cleared the one up on Georgetown Road, so on the north side we're okay, and to Paris. Decent drive times now, no major issues there. To Winchester on 64, looking good. Now back to the studio.
UK softball looking forward to the SEC tournament, Rob.
Well, the Cats go in with a head of steam. They talk about their sweep over the weekend, and Nyquist won the Derby after training at Keeneland, not Churchill Downs. That's next in sports. Stay with us.
Let's begin. CBS Tonight and Tomorrow. The Person of Interest final chapter continues. Excellent. With back-to-back nights of new episodes. We need to get back to work. Person of Interest, the final chapter.
I'm afraid there's still some unfinished business we need to take care of.
There always is. New CBS Tonight and Tomorrow. Or stream it live or on demand.
We all know that Kentucky Kingdom has thrilling rides, like Storm Chaser, the park's 5th roller coaster. But what's equally thrilling is the price of a season pass, only $59.95. Just $10 more than a one-day ticket. And that's before benefits like free parking, $1 drinks, and other discounts. Visit KentuckyKingdom.com or your local Kroger. But hurry, offer ends soon. And remember, a season pass pays for itself in just one visit. Enjoy the rest of the summer free.
Remember the feeling you got when you did something you didn't know you could do? Get that feeling again.
Everyone loved your proposal. You've won our business.
With a degree from Indiana Wesleyan University, you just might surprise yourself with what you can accomplish. Visit IWULexington.com to explore our courses. IWU, anything is possible.
Oh, I hope we have a buyer for the house.
Me too. What are the neighbors doing here?
Bill, hey!
Hey!
I didn't know your home Wi-Fi could stream so many devices at the same time.
Dad, it's Time Warner Cable. 300 megs, crazy fast.
Dad, you can get Wi-Fi all over this place.
Cool.
Make your home as connected as possible. Get 50 meg internet with unlimited data for $39.99 per month. And ask about free installation. Call 1-855-1TWC.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today. Bike won't start? Scoot on into Batteries Plus bulbs and save $10 on Duracell Ultra AGM motorcycle batteries. Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus.
19 pool tables and a full bar. Only at Silver Q on New Circle Road.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You could play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold, fueling imagination, funding education.
Every house has electricity. Shouldn't every house have an electrician?
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT.
In 1995, Lexington native Kenny McPeak trained and stabled Tejano Run at Keeneland, shipping over on Derby Day. Even though he broke with traditional training methods, his horse ran second. Doug O'Neill kept Nyquist at Keeneland, shipping to Louisville at the beginning of the week, and together they won the Roses. Dick Gabriel has the story.
As Nyquist thundered home in Derby 142, it vindicated trainer Doug O'Neill. Not that he needed it, but some wondered about him working his colt at Keeneland and then shipping into Churchill Downs late in the week. To him, it just made good sense.
You know, him going to Florida, to have gone from Florida back to Southern California and then back to Kentucky just seemed like too much. So stopping here at Keeneland, I think it's enabled us to have him be as best prepared as possible for the Kentucky Derby.
Well, just the fact of going to Keeneland and not coming over here, for one, the biggest thing, I would have, you know, most of us are creatures of habit, so we would have just followed the pattern that got us there before.
Romans wasn't the only trainer who wondered about the wisdom of putting in final works at somewhere other than Churchill.
That's to Doug's credit. He didn't have to do that. He wasn't stuck in what he'd done before. He knows his horse, and it showed it today. He did a great job training his horse.
You know, I think as I've gotten longer in the tooth, I've realized that a really good horse, you could train him like 100 different ways. And as long as you surround him with people that serve them right and take good care of them, it's hard to really screw him up.
In the end, the Roses were the ultimate sign that for Nyquist, the road to the Kentucky Derby winner's circle went through Lexington.
The track here is so great with the main track's in great shape. If it rains, you can go to the training track, which is always in great shape. So just haven't missed a beat, really.
Dick Gabriel, WKYT.
The UK's softball team ended the regular season sweeping Mississippi State and in the process earned the #2 seed in the upcoming SEC tournament. Kentucky used a pair of Mississippi State miscues in the first 2 games to win in extra innings, then scored 4 runs in the 6th of Game 3 for the clincher. For the seniors, it was a great way to end the regular season.
Yeah, I think that's a sign of a tough team, that they know how to win a lot of different ways, and we got a lot of different production from a number of people and in different spots in the order. But you have to, you know, hand it to Nunley and Prince this weekend. They did a great job on the mound, and they pretty much shut them out.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that the team came together when we needed to. We had some really close games, but overall, I'm really glad that the team was able to pull through for us 6 seniors. It really means a lot.
John Calipari appearing to take a stab at Duke in a message on his website today. We'll have that in the next half hour. Stay with us.